Hello, welcome to the first 10-day trend of 2022. We've already packed quite a bit of weather into the year so far, and we're going to continue with a rather changeable theme for the next few days at least. Spells of wet weather moving in with some snow on the hills, replaced by drier and brighter conditions, and temperatures up and down as well. We started the year, of course, extremely mild. It has turned colder since, but temperatures will be back on the up as we head through the weekend and particularly into the early part of next week, with Monday looking especially mild. After that, though, weather patterns likely to settle down with high pressure moving in, bringing for many a largely dry week, it looks like, next week. But far from dry through the rest of this week. Let's focus in on the next few days because the weather is just chopping and changing. At the moment, we've got a deep area of low pressure heading across Scandinavia and northerly winds bringing a chill behind that. That's why it's turned so cold over the past couple of days. But we are going to see a switch. We'll lose the northerly winds and have more of an Atlantic influence. And the weather's on a repeat cycle. Weather fronts come in Thursday, then a gap. More weather fronts come in Saturday, then a gap before further weather fronts come in on Sunday night and into Monday. So we're on this repeat cycle of weather fronts bringing spells of rain, but actually also gradually we'll see temperatures on the up. So we start with the cold conditions across the UK. This first set of weather fronts coming in on Thursday will bring a brief lift in the temperatures before it turns cold again on Friday. The next set of weather fronts again lift those temperatures a little bit on Saturday before it turns colder on Sunday, before this next set of weather fronts really look like bringing some very mild air with them for Monday. So we're chopping and changing day on day almost for the next couple of days. However, there are some hazards mixed in with these changeable weather patterns, and particularly so during Thursday as that weather system comes in, hits the cold air. We could see some snowfall for a time over northern hills, mostly through Thursday afternoon. But again on Friday in the snow showers, the likelihood of some disruption, particularly across the northwestern quarter of the UK. So we do have Met Office yellow warnings in place for wintry weather on Thursday and Friday. I'm not going to go into the details here. Download the app or visit the Met Office website for the details of those warnings, but some wintry weather in place is certainly for the next couple of days. Into the weekend, and we have another one of those weather systems coming in, and this one so bringing the isobars close together, so the wind's picking up. These weather fronts will bring a spell of wet weather. Could be some snow mixed in over the hills as that moves in, but it's not going to last too long. It's mostly a rain feature, this one, for Saturday, bringing for many a soggy day followed by showers come the afternoon. That does tend to pull away, and then we've got a brief bump in the isobars, bringing for many a fine day on Sunday before the next weather fronts come in on Monday. So the weekend looking pretty wet and blustery Saturday, drier and brighter on Sunday. There is one question mark about Sunday. There is just a bit of uncertainty about just how quickly these weather fronts move through. So again, I've just rewound the clock, but this time it's going to take the weather fronts off because in here, the pressure pattern suggests we might actually see an area of low pressure develop just as those weather fronts clear through. And if that does happen, then that means the cloud and rain is just going to drag its heels out in the North Sea. And if we see a low pressure here, the winds will start to come round and feed back into the east coast. So some uncertainty about the timing of the clearance of the wet weather on Sunday across the east. But otherwise, I say, for most places, Sunday, the drier and brighter of the two. Sunday, though, will be on the chilly side, back into the colder air. And then, as we saw earlier, it's really through Sunday night and Monday that this warm of tropical air comes in here. This is a warm sector between the warm front and the cold front, and temperatures in there likely to be back up into the teens. So very mild for January, it looks like on Monday. Of course, those weather fronts will also be bringing quite a lot of cloud and some rain and drizzle as well. So we're back to mild and dank, it looks like, on Monday. So chopping and changing weather patterns for the next several days. What happens as we go into next week? Well, you might think that this cold front will swing through and then we'll get another colder spell, but a brighter day on Tuesday. And that kind of is suggested by some computer models, but the main gist as we go into next week is the weather patterns just starting to tilt, starting to shift. A change in the position of the jet stream responsible for that, just starting to show signs of just pushing a little further north. And as the jet stream pushes further north, both coming out of North America, but also close to the UK, that's going to allow high pressure to start to build in from the southwest. And most of the computer models are in agreement. This is the most likely scenario as we go into next week. So this week, we've got the jet stream close to the north of the UK, bringing in low pressure systems and that changing weather pattern. But for next week, it looks like the jet stream will shift further north, taking the low pressure systems closer to Greenland and Iceland and allowing high pressure to build in across the UK. High pressure means drier weather, generally speaking. And this next weather graphic backs that up. This is when we run the computer model several times. This is showing the probabilistic pressure trend from the EC model, the European computer model. We've shown these before. Again, dates going forward along the top here. Previous computer models down the side here, up to the most recent one across the top. Red means high pressure, blue means low pressure, and quite a strong signal here as we go back in time over recent computer models for the reds to take over from the middle of next week. So a decent signal there that high pressure will be building in across the UK and settling the weather patterns down, chopping and changing for the next few days, and then that high pressure for next week. And we're pretty confident that this setup will happen, and here's another indication as to why we're reasonably confident. This is the confidence index. Meteorologists often talk about how confident they are in the forecast, and well, this is showing a lot of green. Again, the dates going forward along the bottom here, up to from 0 to 1 along the y-axis here, where 1 is 100% confidence. Now this green line is the average confidence level, and as you might imagine, it drops off as you go further forward. So the further ahead you're looking at a weather forecast, typically the less confidence you have. But the red line here is the forecast, is the confidence level in the current forecast. You can see it's zigzagging here, but really from next week onwards, an awful lot of green. It's well above the average line. So the confidence index also suggesting that we should be very happy that high pressure is moving in next week. Happy in terms of that's what's the most likely scenario. So high confidence that high pressure will move in. What does that mean for the weather? Well, it means a lot of dry weather for most. At the moment, it looks like that high pressure will be predominantly cloudy, and with the track of those lows still close to the northwest of the UK, that's where we're likely to see some rain at times. As always, details for day to day will vary, so make sure you stay up to date. The exact position of the high will dictate whether we see frost and fog in any locations. And as I mentioned, there are those weather warnings in place for the next couple of days, so check those out on the app and on the website. And for the very latest details, make sure you're always following us across social media.